Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? It's Matt here from YoVideogames, and it is early in the AM on the best coast over here, but it is when Nintendo has finally decided that they're going to show off their brand new video game system after months and months of waiting. Now, the funny thing before I get into all this is that Nintendo didn't show it at E3, didn't show it before that. Instead, they didn't want anyone to be copying it or taking their ideas. There were all this fear surrounding it, and the funny thing is that I don't think anyone's going to copy anything they're doing here. Not that it's bad per se, but just that this was a complete waste of everyone's time to go this long. Also, it's also a waste of time because every fucking rumor was true. Okay, not every rumor, but most of the main rumors were true. So a big shout out to everyone on this website that sat there and whined at me for treating rumors as fact, which I wasn't treating them as fact, I was just treating them as likely to be true, and guess what? They were true! So let's just dive right into it. Let's get my impressions on this sucker. First of all, the first thing to note is that yes, this system is a hybrid between a console and a portable. It's like everyone was saying. The other thing we first see with Zelda on the Wii U, although one thing to note is that Breath of the Wild, we see horseback combat for the first time in the game. I don't know if it's just not running well on the Wii U, because the Wii U version, was showing some sort of framey stuff at E3, so maybe they were withholding it for that purpose. But anyways, we do see that it has detachable controller parts for the system that you can slide into the big touchscreen middle system. So first of all, let's talk about this. There is a docking station, there's the touchscreen, and then there's the slide controllers, which can slide out of the portable unit, and then they can also slide into this little makeshift controller with grips at home. I will never, ever, ever be using that, by the way, because they did show there is a Pro controller setup, and I would never ever at home use the side controllers for playing my game, especially on the big screen. This is last resort, only when you're playing it on the go kind of deal for me. The other thing to talk about is that, yeah, the docking station is basically a big fucking toaster. It should be officially titled the Nintendo Toaster or the Nintoaster. They won't do that, of course, but damn should they. The system's got a much sleeker look to it than most Nintendo consoles usually tend to have. Also, it's all black, which I believe is the first solely black sleek system since the N64 for Nintendo. They didn't show any other color variations for it. Not really that that's a big deal, but it's just something I'm pointing out. It does look like on the weird-ass slide controller there is a share button, like people were speculating or rumoring on the bottom left. Also, on the top parts of the slide-out controller are big plus and minus buttons, and they're actually in plus and minus shapes, it looks like. The thing that I'm really annoyed with, really kind of pissed off, is that the portable unit, the slider controllers that can slide out the sides of the touchscreen and slide into the little makeshift controller at home if you want, there's no fucking D-pad. They've basically got 4 C arrow buttons from the N64 era that sort of make up a really disjointed D-pad thing on it. And I think that sucks. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it, but there is a D-pad on their Pro controller, which, I guess whatever. It doesn't look fantastic. It actually kind of looks like the Wii Pro controller, not the Wii U, but the Wii Pro controller D-pad, which was okay. It's not bad. Just none of them are as good as, say, the N64 D-pad, which was the best, but hardly ever used outside of wrestling games. But the only other thing I think that's kind of interesting and something we should talk about is that there were rumors that we're only going to see Zelda for the Nintendo Switch. And I gotta say, the Switch, the name's okay. It's not bad. I was kind of expecting it could have been a lot worse. I know some people will wish it was still the NX. Calling it the Switch is fine. Coming from the Wii U, it's yeah, this is a much better name. And I'm glad for that. Also, briefly, yes, it uses cartridges. And frankly, after, using Blu-ray discs for a while and seeing how fucking frustrating games have become with mandatory installs on retail disc games, it's you know what? I'm glad we're going back to cartridges, because 1, cartridges can hold plenty of data now, and 2, as basically being a solid-state drive. I really hope this ends this incessant need to install shit on everything. I hope it goes back to letting us boot up games. But again, as we've seen with the 3DS, that doesn't necessarily mean you have games that just start automatically. Like if you've tried to boot up Super Smash Brothers on a 3DS, on like a regular model 3DS, you know it's got a big long loading screen at the beginning. So not necessarily, but I'm hopeful that it does that. The other thing I guess we can talk about, it has a little kickstand, or two kickstands actually, one on the bottom and one on the back, so you can use it like on planes and whatnot, if you want to have that set up. They do kind of seem to encourage portable on-the-go multiplayer, because again, you can slide the controllers out and two people can use them. You can also, you can have two Nintendo Switches and 4 players, because each system has basically 2 controllers per person. I wouldn't dream of using split screen on this, though they showed that with Mario Kart, which is going to be, like Andrew pointed out, this is going to be a nightmare playing split screen on this sucker. So, Godspeed to anyone who wants to attempt that. But yeah, anyways, I was saying, we saw Zelda Breath of the Wild. It didn't look much better, just they were showing some horseback combat and a fat boss. And we saw Skyrim. Skyrim was the second game we saw of all fucking things. So I guess Skyrim, a definitive edition's coming to the sucker. I guess Bethesda's on board. Whatever. I've never been a Skyrim fan. I never liked the Elder Scrolls games. They're boring as sin to play. Combat's just way too slow paced for me. But it's cool if we can get Bethesda on board. They're a neat developer. Let's see. We also got footage of some Mario Kart 8, although we saw King Boo in it. So this is what tells me that this is not just prototype footage. We saw Mario Kart 8, and we saw it with a character that's not in Mario Kart 8. So the rumors of a Mario Kart 8 Definitive Edition, tentatively I would say, seem to be completely fucking true. So yeah, that's cool. I think we're going to see that a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of the big Wii U games that nobody fucking bought because nobody bought a fucking Wii U, and shame on you, you missed out on some great games. And then we're going to see a lot of that coming to the NX, which, again, Bayonetta 2 is probably going to show up on the sucker. I hope Bayonetta 1 and 2 both show up on it, because anyone who didn't get Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Wii U, you fucking missed out hard. There is other things I'd like to point out. There's a weird little tray or standee thing that slides into the Switch. Can slide. You see it in the part of the trailer where people are in the van playing Mario Kart, and it looks like there's like a little thing that you can hook on to other. So basically, they put the Switch inside a big plastic tray slide, and then that hooks onto like the back of someone's chair. So that's actually kind of a neat little gimmick for on-the-go gaming. We also saw a NBA 2K. Who the fuck cares? But that's just demonstrating the multiplayer aspect of the portability thing. The exciting thing is we did see a new 3D Mario game. Now, it didn't really look much. I mean, it looks good. It looks about as good as 3D World. So we're not, maybe a little better. So we're not really. It was a very quick snippet, and again, it was off screen because it was some cutesy kawaii chick playing it. But that's exciting because it means EAD Tokyo is making a new game, and it is. The nice thing about it is that it's a behind-the-camera Mario, so it's possibly Mario Galaxy 3 or something close to Mario, because we see him doing the triple jump, we see the camera stay focused behind him, so there's real good hope there that they're making something closer to Mario Galaxy 3 rather than another 3D World, or Super Mario 3D Land, because fuck those games. They're not bad, Galaxies are way better. It's a little sad, though, that EAD Tokyo is once again being relegated to Mario, because it's not like Mario games are bad, but it's like the person in particular running EAD Tokyo really needs to be working on Zelda, and not that current shit fuck directing Breath of the Wild. Fuck him. I hope he gets fired. Don't wish any ill will on him personally. I just don't want him ever working in video games. And then, let's see, the big thing on Splatoon, where they basically imply that Splatoon will ever be as big as League of Legends. Even in Japan, where Splatoon's probably at its biggest, this will never fucking happen, but it's nice to dream. But, all that shade aside, it did look like there was some new stuff shown in the Splatoon part of the trailer, maybe like some new hairstyles or whatever, I don't really care. Point is that Yeah, Splatoon will probably be on the sucker. No surprise, that was one of their biggest hits on the Wii U. It also showed off that you can use the Wii U Pro controller on the portable system outside of being at home and inside the Nintoaster. So that's pretty cool, actually. It's actually probably the one thing the rumors didn't really talk about that I'm actually very happy about, and that is the fact that you can use the regular-ass Pro controller with the regular D-pad and the good button layout. It actually uses the Xbox 360 control stick layout, which is actually really nice, on the portable Go unit. You don't have to have it on the home system to work, so that's very nice. The only other big thing, I guess, is the announcement of that it is officially a NVIDIA hardware. It is a custom Tegra chip. Don't know which Tegra, model they're using. Probably not going to ever know. It'll take the system coming out and people digging into it. And by the way, it is coming out in March. That is still on the table, so that's pretty cool. So we also got a list of third-party developers who are working on the system. There's not, a lot of like the usual suspects are there. I think the things that the big ones have got everyone else kind of excited from the developers is that there's From Software, which I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but it is pretty cool that there is going to be From. So there's possibility of whatever they're working on dank-wise to come out. Arc System Works is working on it. A Guilty Gear port would be awesome. I have no problem with that. Atlas, is there. That probably doesn't mean much. I wouldn't get my hopes up. Some of the cooler ones are like Level 5, which that would give me hope for a Ni no Kuni 2. I would love it. There's Grasshopper, which is cool. Starbreeze is interesting, but for me personally, the big studio on there is Platinum Games. So Platinum Games is a advertised developer working on the Nintendo Switch. So whether that just means Bayonetta 2 port, that's fine. There's other weird ones like Tokyo RPG Factory, who made I Am Setsuna. That's neat, but whatever. No Rockstar, but Take-Two Interactive is on there. So I really don't see Rockstar games being on the system, but maybe I'll be proven wrong in minutes here as Red Dead Redemption 2 gets shown in trailer form. But I doubt it. I just don't see it ever happening. Rockstar's kind of very set in their ways. They're not even putting Red Dead 2 officially on PC right now. Epic Games is working on it, which is neat, but I don't know if anything coming. See, the thing you gotta remember is you go look back at the Wii U and everyone, oh, look at all these people who are making games for the Wii U, like in EA, is one of them. EA's on the Nintendo Switch developer list. But here's the thing. Just because they say they are, doesn't mean they will. Remember games that were shown during the Wii U announcement and never came out on the system, like BioShock Infinite? Remember EA? Remember EA? Yeah, I remember EA. Unprecedented partnership. Just because they say they're making games doesn't mean it'll actually ever fucking happen. Because if the thing bombs like the Wii U did, all those developers will just disappear overnight. So not really something to take to heart, but it is pretty cool. Overall, my overall feelings of it is like, well, I've kind of expected this from all of the rumors and all of the people saying kind of the same thing. It was going to be a hybrid console. It's going to have controllers that slide out, and you can, use multiplayer on the go, and it uses cartridges. So, the only real thing is that I'm a little salty. Nintendo hasn't released like a full trailers for the games, like the new Mario game. Giving us a full breakdown of Mario Kart 8 Definitive, Splatoon. Obviously, Smash Brothers. Since I was so heavily rumored, that's obviously fucking happening. We are going to get some port. We didn't even see that in the trailer, but it's obviously fucking happening at this point. I just wish that we got, at least, even if they didn't want to talk about the brand new games, like at least show us full trailers for Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon and Smash Brothers and Zelda. Games that were on the Wii U, games that we knew about, so you don't have to reveal it, but I don't know how powerful this sucker's going to be. The battery life's going to be a real big question. I don't know how that's going to go. That could be a real big concern. On one hand, it kind of feels like the realization of what the Wii U was supposed to be. Like, hey, it's a tablet that goes between home console and on-the-go gaming, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what the Wii U was, only it didn't fucking work 10 feet away from your system. So you're just fulfilling the promise of the Wii U, which isn't all that super exciting, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because this thing could suffer the same fate as the last two Nintendo consoles. It could be outdated technology-wise, graphic-wise, very quickly. We didn't see anything on those trailers for any of any game that was pushing any hardware or show. We didn't see anything that the Wii U couldn't do. Even the Mario game, which was like the only legitimately new game, and there didn't look like something the Wii U couldn't handle. And again, Nintendo's left the graphics game a long time ago, so who knows? It's still up in the air, but the real question is that important to you? Is something that's obviously probably going to run better than the Wii U enough for you to have this cool little hybrid console? I do think this will signal the death of the 3DS. 3DS by the end of 2017 will be pointless, because even if the home console aspect of the Switch doesn't really work, the point is Nintendo will still be making games for it because it'll still be selling it as more or less its portable system going forward. Yeah, so I do see the 3DS's days as being completely fucking numbered. But yeah, am I excited for it? Kind of. We didn't get a price point. I could see it being where it's $300 for just the system, the portable system. The side controllers and the screen, touchscreen, and then the power cable, and that's it. But I could see a $400 all-in-one bundle where you get the Nintoaster, the Switch portable unit, and a Pro controller. Maybe a game, maybe not. I could see all of that being like a $400 all-in, kind of how the PlayStation VR is. Is that too much for it? Probably, but at the same time, this is going to be the most powerful portable on the market. Whether or not that means anything, because like the Vita sure didn't help that. So I don't know. I mean, I am rambling. This is off the cuff. This is early in the morning for me. But at the same time, it's kind of exciting. We didn't get any real hard details on anything else. We didn't know the exact date. We don't know how the pricing structure for this sucker is going to break down. That's all kind of a bummer, but again, there is supposedly, I don't know if there is or not, but there should be some sort of more official Nintendo Direct talking about this stuff soon. They didn't say when, so that's another problem. Like, they didn't really say when they were going to talk about more stuff, which is stupid of them. There's still a lot that needs fucking answering, and of course Nintendo's going to fucking withhold all that because they're so weird and paranoid. Their paranoia hurts them, I feel, because the more they withhold, the more they hold back, the more they're afraid of information getting out and people stealing it, the more people, or the less and less people start caring about them and their product. Because, like, you keep it in the dark so long, people just start moving on to other fucking things. I think that's already happened. They waiting till after the release of the PlayStation VR. That's this far into the fall was a dumb idea. And we're still not seeing anything that's like, oh my god, I have to get this because this game will be on this system, which I cannot get anywhere else. Other than, hey, there's a new 3D Mario, but that's going, that's not going to sell any Nintendo fan because they were going to buy it already, and any new people who don't normally buy Nintendo stuff, that's not going to sell them on it, even though Mario games are fantastic. We really need to see the games. It's funny because Reggie always fucking says this. He always goes, it's all about the games. It's all about the games. Those are the best games. Yeah, Reggie, it is all about the games. Why don't you fucking show some fucking games? So that's probably the only frustrating part, is that we're not seeing a definitive list. We're not seeing a launch lineup of games. We're not seeing anything else. Like, hey, what are the actual games on this sucker? Why aren't we getting full good looks? Why are we seeing all this fucking lifestyle off-screen footage? Fuck lifestyle off-screen footage. Fuck it. Fuck it right in its fucking ear. I hate fucking advertisement that does lifestyle footage. I mean, I wasn't too salty about it when I was first watching this trailer because, hey, it's the first time we're seeing the damn thing. But fuck, I hate lifestyle footage. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I want to take whoever invented it and I want to surgically like lobotomize that part of their brain out of their body so they never come up with such a shitty idea again. I fucking hate it. But anyways, all that being said, am I excited for the Switch? Yeah, I'm not really any more or less excited than I was from all the rumors. It's more just, hey, this is what it is. Everything's true, rumor-wise. You know, see you in March. But I'll probably have a better feeling when I get a much better look at what's coming for it, rather than this horse dickery lifestyle footage. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the channel. Later, dudes!